I wouldn't have done this if it wasn't for this one thing. And I had no idea what I was missing out on. Welcome to the channel. I'm Ashley. On my channel, I teach people, entrepreneurs and their families, how they can live a better life here on the continent of Africa. I'm the founder of Africa Investors Academy, which is a global community of entrepreneurs and investors doing business and investing in projects here in Africa, all over the continent actually. But I'm currently in Zanzibar, Tanzania, wrapping up the last day of the Africa Investors Academy Investor Summit, Zanzibar 2024. Don't let it fool you. We are at a 5-star resort. I'm sitting on my lawn, right in front of my villa, overlooking the Indian Ocean as the sun sets, and I prepare for our send-off dinner. I cannot believe I am saying that. But if this content resonates with you and there's anything that I say, hit the like button, share it with someone who finds value, and subscribe to the channel. We're growing. The vision is growing, and so is the impact. We hosted 7 investors this last week here in Zanzibar, Tanzania, meeting with the Ministry of Tourism, the Ministry of Investment, some architects, some developers, saw developed sites, undeveloped sites, took a yacht out to Mandela Sandbank, had dinner, breakfast and lunch all over this island, and it has been a beautiful experience. And I am full of gratitude, completely full of gratitude. I would have never done this. I would have never done this if it hadn't been for a vision, a decision, and a community of people that were supporting me every step of the way. What does that look like, right? So a lot of people are like, what made you move to the continent of Africa? Seemed like you had a good life, and I did, in relation to what a good life looks like in the US, which is having a nice car, having a nice home, having nice clothes, and having a level of status, you know? That's how we say it in the continent, status or status, you know, an influence. And I had those things, but I wasn't full. And I had no idea that there was so much more to life than those things. And there absolutely is. I got to, you know, host these investors, have these powerful meetings while my youngest daughter was by my side, you know, for the most part. We did, you know, some of our other investors brought their daughter, and it was a family affair. For the events that she could make, she was there. And when she wasn't, we had, you know, childcare. Isn't that amazing? Because you can do these things with your children. Currently, she's in the villa enjoying some cake that we had for our investors and getting ready for dinner. And it's just a beautiful experience. We get to experience this life together. And I'm so grateful to be able to do that for her while also being true to myself, which was the values that I have around being with my family and healing those relationship patterns of what it looked like to be raised by parents who struggled financially and struggled emotionally and mentally because there were a lot of blocks. You know, so many times we grow up in these environments not realizing that it's trauma induced. How many of you have been there? You know, you grew up hearing these sayings, money doesn't grow on trees, or that's what the rich people do, vacationing regularly throughout the year. I mean, I can't even count which vacation this is for her. But this is what she knows. This is all she knows. But she also knows that we're working because I let her know every day. And I would have never done that if I didn't make a decision that I wanted to first heal some of these patterns that were all up and through me, right? How many of us as Black women feel like we need to save our entire family? And we do that through sacrificing our time, sacrificing our money, sacrificing our own passions and desires. And I'm not saying that we shouldn't make sacrifices for family, because we absolutely should. But when we do so at the cost of ourselves, we literally sacrifice the very thing we are trying to live for. Our family doesn't get value out of us being exhausted, out of us being worn out, being tired, being depleted. They don't get value out of that. In fact, we come up looking real snappy, depressed. That's a form of depression, if I even want to go there. And we can be honest about that, because that's where I was. I was working a lot, making a lot of money, but I was always agitated, irritated, snapping, because I was essentially depressed. A little wrap coming off, y'all see me. So if that's not what we want for our children, how can we continue to operate in the same environments that require us to be that? Right? So I've just been reflecting on this. You wouldn't have been able to tell me that I would be pulling off a second investor summit. The investors would be over the moon, getting ready to invest in $1 million, $500,000 projects, with the support of our advisors and our governmental relationships. This is the work, and we're doing so many things behind the scenes. I try to capture as much content as possible, but you can only capture so much because there's a lot that's happening, and I'm so grateful. If you want to join us, we're going to announce the date soon. We'll have early bird pricing because you're not going to want to miss out. And the value that we're giving our investors is unprecedented. You'll see a lot of those videos coming out over the next couple of weeks. And I'm just super grateful. I'm so grateful. And that vision started out as just deciding I want something better. I had no idea what it looked like. I kind of did, because I did say, I want to vacation 6 months out of the year and work 6 months out of the year. I want to work with people who I get to work with that I enjoy working with, right? I want to get to work with people I want to work with. Everybody that I work with wants to support me, wants to get involved in the things that I'm doing, believes in my mission, and is trustworthy. Like, these are the things that I told myself. And I want to impact the lives of 10 million entrepreneurs on the continent of Africa. And I don't know what number that is, but the way and the rate and the pace that I'm moving, those numbers, that benchmark is, I'm on track for that. And it was making those decisions, not knowing how I was going to do the thing, not knowing how I was going to meet the people, not knowing how I was going to impact the lives of others, not knowing how I was going to get to live 6 months vacationing out of the year. But it was the decision and doing something every day to be in alignment with what it looked like to achieve that decision. Let me say that again. Doing something every day that is in alignment with the decision that I made, right? So if I say that I want to vacation 6 months out of the year and work 6 months out of the year, I need to calendar that out. I need to schedule, okay, how I'm going to do this. I need to budget my finances to make sure that I can afford to take 6 months off of the year comfortably. I need to figure out how I can spend my time focusing on revenue generating opportunities and activities and anything else I'm not doing, right? So anything that you're doing is either moving you towards your goal or away from your goal. And those things that were moving me away from my goal were anything that wasn't in alignment with the things that were moving me towards. It's really that simple. And I'm going to teach more about this for people that have a desire to learn more of how to travel and thrive. I have a challenge coming for you guys, so stay tuned to that. If you're not already signed up on the email list, go ahead and join me on the email list. Let me fix this because, guys, I just washed my hair and... Ooh. Okay, fantastic. There we go. Sign up on the email list and you'll hear an announcement for when that challenge will get started. We're going to do it in December when everybody's kind of getting, in the vibes of the holiday season. But so you can learn how to make 2025 your best year ever, right? So that was what it came down to, the vision and making a decision. And The next thing was having a community of people around me that were supportive, that encouraged me. The person that encouraged me to start the YouTube channel, that encouraged me to do the investor summit, that encouraged me, we're still very close to this day, and I'm grateful for her and other people like her that continue to push me forward. Anybody that is in your life that isn't excited and inspired by what you're doing, they don't need to be in your life. I don't care if it's someone you've known your entire life, someone you've known for a month. If they can't get excited about the way you're moving, the things you're doing to get better and to grow, the things you have to sacrifice in order to achieve those things, they're not for you. They're against you. And I know, that's a little controversial and everybody doesn't want to hear that. But I'm going to tell you, I would have never been in this position had I kept fostering relationships with the people that were closest to me, that knew me my entire life, but they questioned every single move I made in relation to Africa. They asked me why I was coming here, why I didn't want to go back to the US, why I decided to have my children here, why couldn't I just do this their way? They were not supportive, they were not celebratory, and they meant well, I do believe, but the reality for me was I need people that are cheering me on, that are in my direct proximity. Otherwise, you're praying for my demise. And you may not mean to, but essentially that is what's happening. And we can't have that, okay? We can't have that. You guys are so used to seeing my big hair. I was like, let me just come out and do this. Because it was really on my heart. And if you have something in your heart to do, but the people around you are constantly telling you why you can't do that or why you shouldn't do that, 9 times out of 10, the reason why you haven't done that is because you're worried about what they're gonna think and others are gonna think. And I'm here to tell you, baby, on the other side of that fear and that doubt is literally this. It's this. It's this. And so much more, right? It's so much more. And it's available to us. That's the thing, right? That's the thing. It's available. And yeah, it's hard at first. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna tell you it's not. It's hard. But it's worth it. Because we have one life. And it's a short life. And we don't get any do-overs. We don't get to rewind the clock. We don't get to go back. We gotta live it outright and out loud. And it doesn't matter what anyone has to say about it. Unless what they're saying is gonna push you forward, is gonna make you empowered, or it's gonna inspire you to do it even harder. And I'm so grateful for the people that I have around me that are doing exactly that. April Ernest, my attorney here in Tanzania. Yulinda Lebisi Cousins, my attorney and business partner in South Africa. April is also my partner as well. Justa Ludwigana, my partner here with Curious Tanzania. My dada angu, Naila Best of Witness Our Divine. So many people. My sis Crystal Paris. I mean, so many people, and so many of you that I've actually met in person. All of the guests that came here. Shalita, that came last year. Rasili, Pata, Fritz and Pascal, Joe Bullock, shout outs to you. Eric and Jay Tubbs, like all of you guys, Dr. Cobbs, Veronica and Hiawatha D, like you guys mean so much to me. So much to me. There's so many of you guys, and I know I don't want to forget. Andre and Lewis, Dr. and Mark, Dr. Latasha and Mark Blanton, right? You guys are just pillars, and I'm so grateful for you. And there's so many, guys. There's so many of you. If I didn't speak on you, I just not forgot, but you're all here. You're all in my heart. So many of you guys, and you guys are the reason that I continue to push, that I continue to have faith and be consistent and move in love and feel safe to share the times where I don't, because sometimes, it's a real thing. But that community is everything, guys. And so I wouldn't have done it without them. And so the fact is that you need community to do something like this. You need people that are going to help you push through, that are going to be there for you when it gets tough. And it doesn't matter what you used to do. It doesn't matter who you were. They are in alignment with who you are now, right? So it's community that you need when you're doing something like this. Whether it's my community or someone else's community, we're gonna help you shape a vision, help you take action towards that vision, and surround you in times when it gets tough, right? So the Africa Investors Academy currently is open for enrollment. We've had so many people join in the last month. We're on our way to 100 members. Can you believe it? 100 global members all over the world, literally all over the world. We had people join us from Brazil, the Dubai, Canada, Colombia, Argentina, South Africa, Kenya, Ghana, Egypt. Guys, join us in the Africa Investors Academy, a community of like-minded entrepreneurs and investors that are doing business. We don't all have the answers, but we're getting the answers from each other, and it's a beautiful experience. And maybe you'll be able to join us next year here in Zanzibar in 2025. So click the link in the description and in the pinned comment to join us in the Africa Investors Academy. It's a great community. You will absolutely not regret it. So until the next video, I'll see you soon.